For as long as she can remember, sports have been a constant for Carla Gebhart. Her dad was a high school football coach in Georgia, and her brother is now the head golf coach at Charleston Southern. As for Carla, she competed in both volleyball and tennis, but poured most of her energy into cheerleading. Needless to say, sports were at the center of countless family conversations, including the one that helped send her down the professional path she's traveling today.
Not that I do this for my brother, but one time we were talking about, I think I must have been like in 7th grade, and he's like, it'd be awesome if you like worked in sports one day. Like, you should be like, a reporter or something. And I thought about that and was like, I could really do that.
Gebhart went on to pursue a degree in communication and media studies from Georgia Southern University, where she also cheered. Ironically, it was that experience that helped plant the seed for another important relationship. Following her team's loss at North Dakota State in the 2012 FCS semifinals, Carla received a message from one of the Bison players.
I never understood how he found me on Twitter, but I do know that after games he would usually check to see what opponents would say about other teams after they've just beaten us. I guess he wanted to see us sulk, I guess a Georgia Southern account retweeted something that I said, and then he noticed that it was the same cheerleader that he saw on the sideline.
It took a little time, but the relationship between the two grew into a very real and modern romance. She eventually joined her now husband Trevor in Fargo, and the two made their way to his hometown of Sioux Falls in 2015.
Coach, huge interception that results in a touchdown right before the break.
It was there that her career in sports broadcasting officially began.
They had 7 players from that team that are now in the NFL.
After 3 memorable years with Midco Sports, the time came to make the next move. Ready or not, to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, he got this incredible job offer in sports supplement sales, which is something that he was really passionate about and really good at. And he was like, this is too good of an opportunity. He kind of eventually promised my mom that he would get me back closer to home eventually. I had grown to love the Dakota so much that I was probably a little bit more hesitant than he was to come here, even though it was closer to home for me. Just because I loved being with Midco. I loved, just kind of the routine of what we had there. So yeah, a huge leap of faith to come here.
Carla would be starting over professionally and again looking for any way to get a foot in the door. It happened in September of 2019 when she landed a part-time video role with NASCAR. Not exactly her dream job, but another step worth taking in faith.
I learned so much about the job, and I kind of was wondering, why am I in this job? I felt like I could do so much more, but it's just kind of where God had me at that moment. And what was interesting was I felt like I ended up getting this job that I have now because I took that job.
She actually interviewed here one time before, and it was before I was an EP, and the previous regime looked at her tape and was like, okay, cool. And I was like, why aren't we bringing her in again? And then another regime came in, and we brought her back in again, and it was the easiest fit in the world.
The opportunity was with Charlotte's Fox affiliate, Queen City News.
All right, thanks, Tara. Well, it's the final week of OTAs for the Carolina Panthers, and the Hornets continued their quest for the best prospects out of the draft, and NASCAR is breathing a sigh of relief today. I'll tell you why, next in sports.
More specifically, its new nightly sports show, Charlotte Sports Live.
We start locally first, and then we'll go to some more national headlines.
But it's a live show every night.
A live show every night for 30 minutes, yeah. I produce the nightly show, I write the stories, I edit the videos, send it in, and then sometimes you're rushing and don't even get a chance to really look at what you're covering in the show, and then you go sit at the desk and you're like, all right, let's do this.
Now, who's the game on top tonight on CSL at 11?
All right, Carla, we'll see you at 11. Well, major retailer.
It's 2 years old now. The show is absolutely got wildfire in Charlotte. I mean, if you ask me, Charlotte's still a budding sports town. It's not quite there yet. I think we're very, very close, and I think this show has kind of helped kick that along the way.
It is the final week of Panthers training camp, the first week of the preseason. And
Carla will always be first to credit the team, but there is no denying her personal role in the show's success.
She's grown so much in the time she's been here, and she's now in a position where she's in a leadership role with us because that's how much I can trust her to make decisions. And I mean, just connecting with the audience and connecting with all the teams and players and fans around. I mean, she's immersed herself into the community here, and when people see Carla's face, and they know that that's one of the biggest sports faces in Charlotte.
Yeah. It's just been a job where no matter how long I've worked in sports, even on the tough days, like, it doesn't feel like work. I mean, you're at a football game, you're at a basketball game, and I think that's kind of how we all feel at this job, is that you're doing something you love, and it is a lot of hard work, but it's pretty rewarding at the end of the day.
And joined now by Jay Elsen. And we saw the work that she did around here with us. So it's no surprise that she would make a smooth transition into covering national sports.
Not at all. Anybody that knew Carla, had a chance to work with her here, understood the drive and determination she had to be good at this job. She was fully committed. She loves sports. She's passionate about it. So making that step up was, no surprise to any of us. And the fact that she's having so much success doing it, also not a surprise.
Just got promoted, by the way.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, as of September 1, she's now the sports director for Queen City News, and obviously that's a big deal. And it goes to show, we heard Christian Otteserk, her executive producer in the story, talking about how much he can trust her to make the right decisions, and that's a reason that she's already been elevated, and younger employees are now looking to her to kind of lead the way.
Charlotte is NASCAR Central, and she's got that Southern twang and all. And she's got that going on. It fits her perfectly.
From a dialect standpoint, it was a nice, easy transition. There's no doubt about it. But she admitted she had to kind of immerse herself into that culture and learn all about it. But yes, kind of a natural for her, and she's kind of become the face of the Nexstar Media Group's NASCAR coverage in the entire Southeast. So big time things for her everywhere she turns. She's been a smashing success.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. Our thanks to our sponsor, Build Your Base with Beef. And you can check out YouTube and social media channels to find all of our stories from Midco Sports Magazine.
This has been Midco Sports Magazine, presented by Build Your Base with Beef Sports Nutrition and Training Program.